Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named Mayday titled Almost Famous, or Seneming在望. And if we switch over to here, this was a request, it was a fan request from a GG thing, and just to be clear, I don't want to be doing fan requests via Fiverr. If you're a fan of a song, if you're not the person who's made the song and you want me to review a song you like, there are fan request live streams on Sundays at 5 AM UTC, or you can just become an SP patron and then I can just do monthly custom music reviews for you. I can make the videos and send them to you, And also SP patrons get priority pick in one of the and the SP patron monthly fan request live streams anyways. So yeah, please, while I appreciate the order for Mayday, I do like Mayday's music. Go through my Patreon, the SP Patron stuff, or go to the fan request live streams on Sundays if you are a fan of music and would like me to review it. The Fiverr is reserved for people who are making their own music and want me to review it in that capacity, okay? So anyways, without further ado, we're going to listen through this track by Mayday titled Almost Famous from start till finish. Gonna hear what you think. Let's go. Oh, it looks kind of cinematic, doesn't it? Just before any further, I'm not as knowledgeable about how music videos are shot. I apologize if you're wanting me to sort of review the video as well as the music. I'm probably going to focus more on reviewing the audio elements. But feel free, obviously, to enjoy the music video if you haven't seen it before. Starring Jackson Yee. Cool. It's nice to have these strings or pads with the riser here with the cymbals. Damn. Oh, nice filtering of the vocals to come in. Interesting melody here. Got a vinyl flicker to it, doesn't it? Yeah, instantly sounds quite sad on the offset. You get the feeling that we're going to have a bad time. This is going to be a bit of a tearjerker, Piano is a nice additional layer here, though. And I love it with the strings and the orchestral backing. Nice additional use of that, but oh. And the whole band has come in now. Nice vocal harmonies is here. It's nice to have a bit more on the low end in addition to the drums. It's just great. We've spent a minute 30 to get to this point, and there's been no filler, man. It's just been very careful, considerate movement and adjusting of layers. Sick little fill there as well. Little some dissonant kind of or disparate, or should I say, guitar riffs on the side. Oh, that sucks. That's rough when it rains outside, eh? When you're performing outside and it sort of pours down, it sucks. And those angelic vocals on a high end are gorgeous, aren't they? There's a real tension in that vocal performance, this strain, like they're calling out for help. Cool. You've got a parallel major shift in that da 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 da. That's a really sweet melody that's there, and it's uplifting to go with that really interesting kind of choice of chord progression for that part. So you go to that major note there, and it's not something I hear often. It elongates each of the verse stanzas, but in a really positive way, both literally from a major perspective and from a music perspective, Oh, tension, twist, dramatic, very composed. Yeah, mixing up some chromaticism in here. Some interesting melodic choices here with the phrasing. And the cascading piano parts here are absolutely charming, dude. Phenomenal vocal performance. This is probably one of my favorite tracks from Mayday. Interesting kind of tribalish kind of thing going on here with the camera flickers and everything like that. It's a fun choice. And we just got the claps. We just got the claps going clap, 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 clap. It's uncertain. It's almost terrible. It's kind of disheartening. It's sense of a struggle and inner turmoil. It's almost like we're ready to go to war, bottles and chains, you know? Oh, switch of mood and vibe? Okay, we can do this. We can do this. Okay, let's go. Yeah, no, I dig this. I vibe with this. Dark all the time, though. Great phrasing here, you know? That kind of neoclassical kind of approach with that solo there. A little bit just to kind of indicate we may get a bit of development of that later on. Oh, okay. Ooh. Yeah, this is almost operatic, isn't it? I like how they're trying to tell a different story outside of the typical 4-bar per part mindset. Key change? Did they just manage to flick a key change in there? Dude, what can't Mayday do at this point? It's interesting that we have the guitar solos when it comes back to the man crying because he can't handle what's going on with it. It's almost like he's... How do I approach this, you know? At the greatest level of strife is when the guitar wails. That's his way of speaking out, you know? Fantastic sound design as well, with the doors opening like that. Boof, it's very cinematic, you know, very professional from an audiovisual standpoint. Is that breathing? Did they just manage to make breathing musical? That's wild, dude. The Foley is right, like, can you hear the footsteps on either side of the headphones? That's wild, man. What an incredible atmosphere that's being delivered here and created by this music. Ah, uplifting, that swing groove. Very kind of happy-go-lucky kind of old rock vibe here. Almost sounds like they succeeded. Almost like the journey of becoming almost famous got switched around at the last moment. It's almost like he thought everyone outside was wanting to hurt him, and then when he let people in, things improved and became better. Dude, more guitar? More guitar, please. We're keeping it musical in the sense that, like, we're not trying to over-egg the pudding with, like, the amount of notes we're playing per second. What a phenomenal finish. What a phenomenal finish. It's so positive seeing that be there. Almost famous. I'll be honest, it's been a pleasure to listen through this today. It's been an absolute pleasure to listen through this today. So many talented, incredible people were involved with this. They ought to all be proud of themselves. It was a fantastic music video. Before we get into the conclusion, we've also got lyrics kindly provided by Jifeng, so thank you for that. Lyrics and composition by Ashin. I think this track is something about someone who got into music as a passion. They were played in the pubs and they worked their way up. They went through the labels and everything like that. You know, you get signed and then maybe you lose yourself a little bit. You go to war with people and you get into conflict, and no matter, and the success is fragile, you know? Is there light at the end of the darkness? Will the sunrise at the end of nighttime? Is the fame glorious or simply inferno? Even then, what should we do? What can we do? You know, asking those important questions. What can we do about the situation? How will we manage to cope with this? It's like we're looking back on ourselves, you know, who we used to be as older people, and we go, yeah, no, I know how it felt to be where you are now, but things will improve, and you've just got to keep your head up and try not to let it overwhelm you. If your heart always believes, who can do anything to you? You can take flight. Because this is the conclusion of my review of Mayday's Almost Famous. Thank you again to Jifeng for this. Remember, if you want me to review tracks, please go through the fan request live streams on my YouTube channel, or through become an SP patron. The story of the song, as I've mentioned, I think is about someone. It's about someone coming up and becoming successful, and then dealing with the pressure of that, and eventually coming to terms with it and finding a way to make the most of it and find peace, I suppose, with all the kind of craziness going on. It's a beautiful story. It's really well told. Mayday, a phenomenal approach to it. The vocals reflected the tension and the feelings that would, you know, logically be associated with the words very, very well. Not only did they show tremendous vocal technique, and they managed to nail the emotions that were required to make it believable, it also seemed like a track that was inherently very true and authentic to their own journey. And I think that this would reflect maybe the Mayday members' version, interpretation of their rise to success. And I think that that's a beautiful thing that a lot of people will resonate to. It's always good to hear that your heroes, that they went through hard times too, and that if they can get through it, you can too, right? The structure of the track was through composed. You know, like we had lovely choir-like vocals and chorus parts and harmonized and all those different vocal melodic ideas and everything like that. And like, for me to go through everything involved in this track would be very, very difficult because there was so much variety. But there was not a single note out of place. There was not a single note out of place, and Mayday ought to be very proud of themselves for the vocal performance alone, but it's just the structure of the track and all those different concepts. There were like three main sections, I think. It went A, B, and C. A was going up in the pubs, the second was when they got signed in, and the third was like coming down from that high and then finding a ground where you could be famous and be okay with it, and where you come to terms with what the industry is. And it was like a film, you know, having the three parts of it, and it, you know, even had the fall in the second, and that came up. It was just classic storytelling 101, but it was done so well by Mayday, and on a musical perspective, you know, all the different orchestral elements, the guitar, bass, drums, the piano, everything, including the vocals, everything just stuck together so well. You know, the drums were nice and active, lots of cool fills, alongside the basic sort of like rhythm keeping that you need to do as a drummer. You know, the bass was stuck to the root notes for the most part, was a little bit explorative from time to time, and did what it needed to provide the foundation. The guitar parts were very experimental. Should I experimental? No, they were varied. There was a lot of variety of the guitar parts. The rhythm parts were always kind of in tune with like the drums and stuff. There were some arpeggiated parts, and in addition to that, there were also some phenomenal guitar solos in there as well, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Nothing but love for the voicing of those guitar parts. You know, it's very easy to overdo a solo, but it was very tasteful with the phrasing of it, and each of those notes counted. And the piano parts were lovely and colourful and filled that mid-high resonance well, and the strings provided that sense of tension where it needed to. And they sort of bowed away when there was less of a need to be sad. The limiting compression, you know, the recording, mixing, and mastering, and all that kind of stuff was absolutely wonderful. It was a commercial release. The EQing, effects change, stereo filter, panning of the instruments, all that. You know, like, there's not a single part of the studio production that needed to be improved. There was an absolute masterclass, and I wouldn't have expected any less from Mayday. They're a phenomenal band, phenomenal musicians, and I'm so pleased to be able to hear more of their music. You know, this was effectively my review of Mayday's Almost Famous. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show Mayday some love via the various social medias and their YouTube page. Stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time. There's either help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.